Good evening, everyone. Welcome to 1001 Nights of Lessons. I'm your host, Dildar. I'm a Uyghur girl living in the US in her late 20s, working a normal corporate job 9 to 5, but I'm here to share all the stories and lessons learned 5 to 9 with you all. For the new listeners and viewers of the podcast, 1001 Nights of Lessons is a storytelling and self-development podcast, much like the OG Arabian Nights. We're here to unpack the stories of our lives that shaped us into who we are and to reflect lessons learned along the way. Hi everyone, welcome to 1001 Nights of Lessons. This is night 26. It's our monthly guest episode. I have a very special guest with me today, Miss Jenny Baek.
Hi.
Jenny is a successful global model who has worked with hundreds of brands across Korea and America. Some of the brands I guarantee you can recognize their household names like New Balance, Samsung, Hyundai, Olive Young, and celebrities like the one who's in Train to Busan. What's his name again?
Gong Yoo.
Gong Yoo. Oh my God, you guys are gonna hate me that I don't know his name, but I love his movie from Train to Busan, so good. And iconic Korean figure skater Yuna Kim. She has collaborated with them in different commercials. It's so cool. And even as a friend watching afar, see you evolve in your modeling career, it was very inspiring. Every time when I see you post something, I am just so proud of you. And we're gonna get into all of that later. Outside of her modeling career, she is an internet personality. She has a YouTube channel documenting her travel journey around the world. On Instagram, she posts creative shoots to showcase her fashion taste, fashion style.
I must say, I came all the way to Seattle just for this podcast.
감사합니다. I am so excited that you are here in person.
We're doing this in person.
This is insane.
In Seattle.
I can't even believe it. Yeah. I'm super excited to dive into your modeling journey, your fashion taste, everything you're doing on social media. I want to start with where everything started with you. I distinctly remember the moment when I ran into you in college. You held my hand and you told me with so much passion, Dildar, I want to become a model.
Really? I actually don't remember this.
I believed in you from that moment on because I saw how much you believed in yourself.
Oh.
And lo and behold, 7 years later, you're doing it. You're popping up. When did you decide I want to do modeling and commit 100%?
Okay. I've always wanted to be a model since when I was young. Even though I wanted to come to the States to study, I was not pursuing what I wanted to study. I was, studying for a year. But then I realized, this is not my thing. So I was pretty depressed because in my eyes, everyone was like happy studying whatever they want to study. And then they already had some visions what they are going to do after college. Mm-hmm. But then to me like, what am I going to do with this major? I'm not even happy with this now. But then there was this one day that I went to Ontario Lake, watching the sunset coming down. I just felt too small in this universe.
Our struggle is so small considering to what's happening around us. Yeah, you had an existential moment and you realize what really matters.
So that was my moment. If I don't start right now, if I don't pursue whatever I want to do or my heart says to do, I'll regret forever. I'm not living for other people. They're not gonna live my life for me, even when they're saying, do this, do that. Since then, I tried to reach out to all the photographers, like through hashtag or IG. I found some students and I told them I want to be a model and you know how to take photos. Can you help me out? So we became friends. We went out on some shoots. That's how I started. After I graduated, I had to go to San Diego and I found out this community in San Diego. We call it photo walk. So we just gather together and then we just walk together. And if we found a great background or great,
wow,
yeah,
so fun.
And everyone is taking photo of everyone. I went to their event for the first time. No model besides me was showing up. There were photographers came on time, but there was no model coming in. So it was very funny and kind of fun because we were walking on the street and then there were a bunch of photographers was shooting me and all the people going on the street was like, who are you? Are you a superstar or whatever?
You're surrounded by a mob of photographers.
Yeah.
It's kind of a paparazzi experience tailored for you.
It was.
Oh my God. That's on my bucket list to be paparazzi. But you already got it.
But then it was my first event and that was happening. That day I made a lot of photographer friends in the community. So they finally knew about me and then we got got in touch, and then after that I just went on shoot with a bunch of people. That's how I started in San Diego. I almost had a shoot with every single one.
Wow.
More than 50 times, I would say. So back then I was like crazy about photo shoot. But to me, I didn't want to just look pretty in the photo. The reason why it was so attractive to me was because I could make a story in the form of photography.
What I hear is tremendous courage in the beginning to go out of the norm where your culture, society has laid out for you. That is so hard. You have no idea. Most people is stuck in other people's expectations, in what the society think is the cool job, the finance job, the doctor, the engineer, not following their calling. You were so uncomfortable following a fake path that you had to pause in that lake, face yourself and make decisions for yourself. And then I feel like after that you were free and you were excited.
The only thing I could do at that moment was just trusting myself, believing in my potential, in my passion.
You miss 100% of the shot you don't take. This part of the story, I'm really familiar with it because I watched your YouTube talk show when you shared your modeling journey. One thing that stood out to me from watching episode 1, you mentioned that you would cold reach out on Instagram. You instinctively know you have to do outreach, booking shoots for yourself, hundreds of DMs a day to just get that one offer.
Some brands and some people started to reach out to me through DM, giving me some opportunities too. But then at the same time, I just knew that I am no one. I had to let people know about me. So basically, I was exposing myself to the world. If you reach out to 100 people, out of 100, 3 people read your message. Out of that 3, maybe only 1 replies to you. To me, that one person was who I needed.
And I think that really helped you deal with rejections, right?
Yeah.
Because you know that this is what it needs to take to get to that one.
I am going to get rejected 10,000 times, and I wouldn't mind. If you set up your goal this high, you won't be like disappointed because you haven't tried this much yet. That was my mindset too.
So Jenny, since that beginning chapter, you've come so far along. I just want to hear about how you think you have evolved.
Back then I was trying to do anything I want to do. Right now it's more of like collaboration. So we are just discussing the whole story together. Even communication skills or even actually physical modeling skills too. There should be some poses that you should avoid. Maybe like
slouching.
Okay.
Okay, you know what? I'm interviewing a model right now. I need to sit up straight.
Modeling is not just about looking pretty in the photo. You are helping brand out. You are the face of the brand. So you need to understand how can I make things better for the brand to sell the product better. Let's say we're shooting beauty products, then I have a lipstick. It's not about me, it's about lipstick. So I need to make some poses that makes this stand out. When you have a personal project or the brand shoot, it's all about collaboration. They're not there for helping me out or making me look like a princess. We're all chipping in the same amount. And they're all artists too. Makeup artists or stylists or photographer, we're all artists. So we need to respect their boundary too. If there are some cases that I don't really like this style, like this makeup, but they are doing it for me. Before making any complaint or making any changes, like I need to understand, okay, they already understand the story or mood board, so I need to respect their art. I can't really say to the photographer, oh, I don't like this angle, I look bad. It's not about me looking pretty or bad. We need to trust their eyes too, their instinct too.
You have a really humble approach, which is the way to win life. Do you ever have to speak up for yourself, tell people no?
Luckily, I've met only amazing people who respect me too as a model. So they were always asking like, oh, is it what you want to do? Or do you feel comfortable about your look or your poses or your makeup?
I know you have modeled both in Korea and America. I want to ask you, what is the difference in the modeling industry, being a model in Korea versus working in US?
The whole atmosphere is really different. Back in LA or back in the States, whenever I made unique different poses, they were just okay with it. They were just like that's really great, Jenny. Do more, do whatever you want to do. I just made a whole different, even weird poses with confidence because I knew they're not going to judge me. When I came back to Korea, I had this personal shoot with a photographer, and I was doing the same thing. I was just being me, but then she was like, what are you doing now? Don't make that pose. That's ugly. That's weird. To be creative, you need to do anything. It feels like there are some certain good poses in Korea. They consider good poses. They judge you a lot, I feel like, and then they just want me to be a certain model and doing some certain poses. There's some hierarchy in Korea. It feels like models need to obey. We need to do whatever they want me to do. Because where's my input, you know? I'm not just here to be your toy. American people are very they like small talk. But then in Korea, whenever I go on set having all the Korean models, they are just like crossing their legs and just they're on the phone. They don't really try too much to make a conversation or get to know each other. But the thing is, we're co-workers of the day.
Yeah.
We are doing this together. Then we need to be close enough. I'm not talking on behalf of every Korean, but some people are like that too.
Do you think it's because of competitiveness? When you are describing that, I'm imagining the movie scene where models are auditioning for the runway and they all sit in a long bench and don't talk to each other, thinking that I'm gonna kill that bitch to win the spot. You know those movies.
I can say that. Maybe. Yeah. I think it's more of a culture. So in that sense, I prefer more open-minded.
Are you open-minded? You know the Hyundai guy? There's a Hyundai guy on TikTok. He went viral. I'll show you after. But he likes to be in Hyundai and ask foreign girls, are you open-minded? He would say...
Hyundai!
Hyundai! I said Hyundai. Okay, yeah.
I saw the reels, yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? Yeah.
That's funny.
Thank you for sharing that. So it's definitely very different. Then how do you navigate and survive and thrive in that environment?
I'm always trying to be myself. So even when I go on set where it's all quiet and nobody's talked to anyone, I still reach out to them. I still come up to them. Try to break the ice first.
You can control what you can control.
Yeah.
I'd like to share the sponsor of today's episode. It is me. Please follow the podcast 1001 Nights of Lessons wherever you listen on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube. And if you've been enjoying the podcast, you can leave a 5-star review on Spotify or Apple. That would help me reach my goal of growing the podcast in 2025. Lastly, check out my vlog channel at Dildar Abdu, where I experiment on trying new things to improve my life 2 weeks at a time. I'll link everything in the show note. Thank you so much for listening. I love you guys. Let's go back into the episode. I wanted to hear your perspective on how you think Asian models are being represented diversity-wise. Recent years, whether it's the film industry or the modeling industry, people are more aware of diversity and inclusion. Right. There are a lot more opportunities that opened up for Asian models or other Black models, more diverse groups, not just the white pretty girl face, which is a good trajectory. Do you feel the impact of that?
I've actually been appreciating the diversity part. When it comes to global shoot, they always have at least one Asian model. Even in Korea, for the global shoot, I was used a lot as a main Asian model. Even for Samsung S22, it was a global shoot. I was published everywhere on the website, but I was the main Asian model for it.
Do you find it hard to fit into the beauty standards you know that exist? You're like, no, I fit.
No, I
you
fit.
do. You're very malleable. You can transform in different shoots. One thing I see you definitely break is the height. There's a stereotype thinking of you have to be tall, but you yourself is 5 foot. How tall are you?
5'3". I'm 5'3". Actually, I'm very small. There's certain things I can't really do, like a runway, because they still want a model who is tall and skinny for their clothes too.
We need to change that. Yeah, it's time for runway 5'4" baddies to rock the runway. But anyway.
But then for commercials or beauty shoot, they don't really care because they only show your face, or it doesn't really matter. I look tall by myself.
Yeah.
But when I have another model, like a male model, you can see the height difference. There was one time that Nike reached out to me for the shoot, but then after hearing my height, they just rejected me because they're gonna use a tall model, male model, and then we're not gonna look cute together, I have some restricts, but mostly I'm fine.
You will find your own niche that works for you. Oh, you see, there's a lot of thought that goes into how things pair together as well.
When I first started, I only thought there is a model who just do a catwalk, who is on the magazine. Later on, I realized there's so many different kinds of models. Commercial models or billboards. There's hand models.
I love your hands. You can be a hand model.
Thank you.
I will be No hand model.
Why?
Look at my hand.
Why?
I have a hand of a man that chopped wood. But anyways. And obviously on these sets, you have worked with big name celebrities.
The funny thing is, growing up, I only had 3 celebrity crushes, which was Gong Yoo, Yuna Kim, and Park Bo-gum. I've done commercial with 3 of them all.
Wow.
So that's why I feel like I'm a lucky model. I can't proudly say that I'm a successful model because there's so many models in Korea. Out of all those people, I was chosen to be the model for the shoot and I was working with them.
That's crazy how manifestation
Right,
works.
but the Gong Yoo was my best celebrity crush. Growing up, my friends always asked me, who's your type? And I always said Gong Yoo.
How did you feel when you actually met him in real life?
The night before, I couldn't really go to sleep. It was a very magical moment for me. The one and only crush was standing in front of me.
Manifestation really works.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Those are the 3 people that you look up to.
Exact 3 people.
That's crazy. I wonder if you experience any imposter syndrome, or maybe you're just like, this is meant to be.
Yes, being confident, you need to be delusional. You need to believe in yourself so much. Saying to yourself, I'm a big star. I made it here. I deserve to be here. And I am also a superstar, just as you are. So I always been having that mindset whenever I go on a big shoot.
Why let yourself be your enemy by taking that spot away from you yourself, thinking you don't deserve to be there? Of course you do.
Whenever you have a shoot with big celebrities, you don't really like self-introduce yourself.
Why
because
not?
there are more than 100 people
Ah.
in front of you. It's a big star in front of you. So they normally get shy or get nervous. Back then, I was like, I'm a superstar too. I made it here. Like, I don't want to be a ghost, invisible ghost, just because you're a superstar and I'm no one. When he was coming up to me, I was like, hi, my name's Jenny. Let's get it today. He was a bit surprised because no one else actually even tried to have a small chat.
Hold themselves.
Introduce themselves. And after some seconds, like, he was like, oh, hi, my name is Gong Yoo. So, who'd imagine like introduce from big star, introducing himself to random person.
Yeah.
So that was a fun moment.
You don't need to introduce yourself, sir.
I know, right?
But it's so cute he did. Can you walk me through a day in a life of a model?
So I'm full-time freelancing now, but that doesn't mean that I get a job every single day. Whenever I have a job, I wake up early in the morning and I try to like make my face smaller or whatever. Just
What do you do to do that?
I do a massage here.
Oh, lymphatic
Or
massage. Do you
sometimes-
use your hand or?
Mostly I use hands. One time I was using the stone thing and I got bruises. And I have this face mask to cool the temperature down. And I do stretching too. Sometimes I pray and do meditation too.
Oh, I love that.
And just
Get into a good headspace.
Yes.
Connect with yourself. Yeah.
and just go to the place, the venue, and I say hi to everyone. I make some connections with everyone.
Do you go early just to do that?
Oh, actually, that's my thing. I always want to be on time, but not just exactly on time, but like I try to be there 10 minutes early at least. They usually send me a mood board and concept board the night before or something. So I just go through all the poses that I need to do today. Yeah, that's my routine. Usually, I am running out of my energy after the shoot is done.
I can't imagine.
I usually come back home and have dinner, or on the way back home, I just have treat myself and then go eat something delicious. Yeah, that's my thing.
I just know food and weight is a struggle for models.
Uh-huh.
How do you balance that?
So I'm a big foodie. I love food. I love eating. I can't really be on a diet. I do like workout, so I rather just eat a lot or just enjoy food and work out more. That's my style. But I know a lot of my friends who are modeling too. They just starve.
Yeah.
Even the night before, the day before, especially like underwear shoot, like bikini shoot.
And I found that whenever I try to starve myself, I binge eat the next day more.
Yeah, same.
Do you feel the pressure to maintain your figure or weight at a certain point?
I would say yes, because they're expecting me to be a certain way. My IG is my portfolio. Usually I'm more of like a skinnier side. They expect me to just come to the set, being skinny. There was only one time in my whole career. I had a shoot with this brand, big brand. After I finished my shoot, the person who was in charge of managing everything messaged me saying, oh, we'd like to have you again for another shoot, but can you just do a diet a little bit until you come next time? Because you do look great, but a little bit chubby in the skirt. But back then, I just came back from the States. I was staying for like 2 to 3 months, eating a lot, like tacos and everything.
Yeah,
so
something
I knew
about America's food just makes you gain weight.
But I worked out hard too.
For this specific shoot, did you manage to lose the weight that they wanted?
They didn't call me.
Ugh.
They just
that was their way of rejection, basically. Yeah. How is the audition process like to get a gig?
I go to a camera testing sometimes, but some brands just book me right away. And for the commercial shoot, being on TV, 99%. They need to check me in person first. Usually what they do is they send me a script. They want me to record myself doing it or reading the script. That's the first round. And then when I pass the first round, they want to see me in person. If I pass the second round, then most likely they're choosing me.
How they discover you, is it more inbound, they will reach out to you, or do you have to submit applications?
For most of the time, 100% they reach out to me.
Just from your existing Instagram presence?
Yeah. Some people say hashtag don't really work nowadays, but I think it's really working still. Because whenever I go on shoot, when I ask them, how did you find me? And they always say through hashtag.
That just shows the power of Instagram.
In terms of followers, I am not really that big. There's so many other influencers and models having so many followers.
If you feel comfortable sharing.
Mine is like 6,000 something. I've been trying out something new and I've been posting a lot of reels and videos, and I found out that reels really work out. Less than 1% actually watches my post. Most of the random people or strangers or my real friends, they only watch my reels. If you want to promote yourself, you need to do videos.
To get in front of new people.
Yes, and get more interactions and engagements. Followers and numbers are pretty important actually still for getting more opportunities, because brands actually want someone who has more followers so that they can promote their brands. Usually they want someone who has at least 10K, at least. But I am still proud of my work all the photos that I've done. I still do think that I don't really have enough followers for the quality of my works.
It just shows that even though you're not at the 10K mark, you're almost there, you can still book opportunities through the portfolio's quality of work, because it's discoverable. You're using hashtags right. I can see how it's working all together. What would you say are the 3 most important qualities if they want to be successful as a model?
You need to believe in yourself. Even if there's someone who says, oh, you're ugly or you're not that good, there's so many competitors out there, you're not gonna make it, you still have to believe in yourself. Also, you need to be very passionate. You're not just doing it for fun, but you need to take it seriously too. You also need to be consistent. Even if you have so many good ideas and you have talent, if you're not being consistent, then you're not gonna make it anywhere.
What's next for your modeling career? What is your vision? Where do you want to go?
I've done enough for modeling. I've been doing this for 7 years now. I've worked with so many big brands too, and I have no regret. It's been fun being a model. I just want to do something more than just being a model. I want to be recognized as Jenny, not just as a model who has right energy, iconic character one day, having everything, personality, energy, fashion, everything.
A new media celebrity. And with that, you can do anything, kind of like Emma Chamberlain of its sort. My last question for you for today's podcast is the lesson segment of 1001 Nights of Lesson. What is this one message you want to share with the audience, one lesson you've learned all your life so far?
I'd rather fail than be a coward who is afraid to try. This is my life. I only get to live only once. I'd rather just fail. I'll just try whatever I want to do.
We are not afraid to fail. We're going to fail as many times until we succeed. And I believe in you. I see so much potential. You're a star in my eyes. Thank you so much for coming on 1001 Nights of Lesson.
I had a great time.
Where can everyone find you if they want to connect with you?
So come see me on my IG. You can also come check me out on my YouTube.
What's the name of your YouTube and IG?
Jenny Baek.
She's giving work for the editing me. Now I have to do it. I'll link her Instagram and YouTube channels on my description box as well. Thank you so much, Jenny. We had such a good chat. I loved it.
I loved it.
Now it's time to have fun in Seattle. Bye. See you next Wednesday.